Hey guys, I know it's been a while, but welcome back to a brand new series of my vinyl collection, and today we'll be talking about Baltimore's legendary pop punkers, All Time Low. So to kick off, we have All Time Low's EP, Pull Up a Shot, which is the song. This is the first time it's on vinyl, so right now there's only the black version available. I got mine from Banker Records, but I'm sure you can get it from other places as well. It's a 7-track EP, 5 songs of which are re-recorded from the album The Party Scene. Now, the design for the cover I quite like because it's simple, it's a certain level of detail to it as well. It's got this grungy kind of vibe to it and use of thresholds for the people. And the band name's quite big, so it kind of shows confidence. And on the back it's got this kind of like funny little thought bubble coming from the guy, but it's also the track listing. So that's the cover, let's take a look inside. Now this is the inner sleeve for the vinyl. One major criticism I have about this is that I don't feel like it's giving me confidence that it's being protective in terms of protecting it from scratches, because taking it out and putting it in, it just feels like it's gonna like scratch, and it doesn't give me that confidence that it's being protected because it's not smooth. It's not like, you know, there's just nothing really about it that's very protective about it apart from the fact that it's strong. There's a band called As It Is, and for the first vinyl, for the first album called Never Happy, the sleeve for that one is really protective. I don't know why more bands don't, not bands, but manufacturers don't do this, because it's a really good way to sort of protect the vinyl, and this is, I guess it's cheaper and faster, but I wish more people would do it. But anyway, that's just me. So yeah, this is the inner sleeve, got the green and the yellow colour scheme going on, the lyrics and the thank yous on this side. The vinyl itself, there's not too much to say about the looks wise because it's just a standard black. But as a mini review for the EP, there's 3 songs that I really love from this EP. It's Coffee Shop Soundtrack, JC Ray and Lullabies. And it's these 3 because the first one's very catchy, it has the signature kind of All Time Low hooks and melodies to it. And the music video is hilarious and it just captures that fun side to them. JC Ray, because that song, it's kind of like kind of feels like the song I Miss You in a way by Blink-182. It kind of has those kind of like elements to it, or maybe that's just me, I don't know. There's a kind of funness and yet sadness to it, and the acoustic version in particular is what got me into playing guitar in the first place and singing as well. So that's one that I hold close to my heart. And the last one because it's generally quite a sad song. Otherwise, I believe it is about his brother who passed away years ago, and it's just, you know, quite a good song in just general. I mean, generally it's just he very rarely plays it now, and if he does, it's a treat. Live, this is yeah. So apart from that, so that's that for this one. Let's move on to the next one. So next is my favourite All Time Low record. It's called So Wrong It's Right. It's their sophomore album, which is this one. And there's so many things I love about it, from the artwork to the songs. Now, the artwork alone, I mean, it's got this really cool sunset silhouette kind of thing going on. It shows people having fun, it really represents the album and sort of represents the energy it has behind it. It's got these sort of iconic birds that go flying. Here's the back of it, it's a 12-song album, and it's just a certain simplicity and yet detail behind it again is what I really love about All Time Low. And let's take a look inside. So this is the inner sleeve of the record. We've got these girls on the front again, all the birds as well, and it's got sort of like strong silhouettes happening again with the blacks in the background, and there's kind of weird crazy blue lines going on, don't know what that's about, but and then you've got sort of contrasting white on the back here with the lyrics, and then the nice blue sky kind of effect on the buildings, which is quite contrasting to the cover as well. And the vinyl itself, again, not too much to say about the design of it because it is just your typical standard black colour. But the album, bloody hell, it is amazing, this one. Well, that's my opinion, very overused word for everything I describe, but it is really like, there's something about this album because every song on it just captures the idea of what pop punk is to me. Because to me, All Time Low is what defines pop punk, like back in 2008 anyway. They were one of the best bands back then, or at least in my opinion. Again, I mean, obviously this is very subjective. There are a lot of other bands that people like which they think are great, but in my opinion this was one of the best bands back then, and in a way now as well, because these guys just really know how to make music and write songs, and they've, you know, again and again they've proved how good they are, even though I personally feel like they slipped up a little bit on the album Dirty Work, but they, you know, just came back with a hell of an album called Don't Panic, which was kind of like a double kind of like meaning where they're like, guys, it was alright, we've got good music. Anyway, some of my favourite tracks, even though all the tracks on it are pretty much my favourites, but a few in particular are Poppin' Champagne, Dear Maria, 6 Feet Under the Stars, and Remembering Sunday, Stay Awake even. And it's just, there's just too many things to talk about this band. I really wish I could just make a dedicated video about each and every individual song, but I'll just take too long. And but yeah, this album just really like represents who they are to me, and every like no matter what release you have in the future, you'd always sort of refer back to this one. People always compare it because in a way, it's like saying, this is their best album, and no other album they do after that will top this one. And in a way, that's kind of true, but not that much true. But I mean, again, it's very subjective, and no one has their own opinion. But yeah, to me, this is one of their best ever. So next up is their third album called Nothing Personal. And this particular one, there's only 1,500 copies of made at the moment anyway. And it's got a quite crazy kind of like weird ripped wallpaper packaging effect. I don't know what's going on here, there's so much happening. If you guys know what's happening, please tell me in the comments below, because I don't know what the hell's going on. From what I can tell, it looks like, yeah, wallpaper being ripped away, but there's like a handwritten kind of effect to it, as if it's been like, yeah, done by hand, like nothing personal, sort of like scratched on with a pen. These birds are actually the same as the ones here, actually. I don't know if that's of importance to anybody, but it looks like, yeah, it's the same thing. So it's like a theme they're carrying on throughout some of their designs. So just the back, it's got that sort of handwritten feel to it again, like correction and scratching out and stuff. I like that. And it's a 12-track vinyl standard vinyl record, so that's pretty standard. And for the inside sleeve, it is like this. It's like this collage-y cut-out effect to it. It kind of reminds me, especially these guys here, it kind of reminds me of the music video Summer in Neverland, because they're all like using this stop motion kind of effect going on, but they're all like cut out as well. But yeah, that reminds me of that, and it's got loads of images going, so much going on. I mean, what the hell's that about? But I guess some of this is kind of alluding to some of the songs in the album, such as Lost in Stereo with the mixtape. But that's just me, that's what I think anyway. This one doesn't have like lyrics to it, which is a bit sad. You'd think if there isn't any on the sleeve, there'd be like a lyric sheet, but there isn't one at all for this one, so that's a bit, but don't really need it. It's made up for because of the actual vinyl, because that is just gorgeous. Look at that. It's the clear blue-pink splatter variant. And I don't know if there's a black version. I think there is a black version of this vinyl, but there's only 1,500 copies of this particular version. And that is just one of the most beautiful variants ever, in my opinion. Because a lot of the bands, it might be clear, but it would just have some weird like white variant on it. But these guys have gone all out on like 2 colours. Again, I mean, I think other bands have like better variants than this, but this one in particular is quite cool. It's actually very similar to Paramore's All We Know Is Falling Anniversary Edition, but we'll move on to that one in another video. Anyway, so a few songs I really like about this one is the song Dan Fadia, Therapy, and so many others. It's just that this one I feel like has more of a party kind of vibe to it, especially the song Dan Fadia. That one, when you hear that live, it just gets you going, because it's the drums, it's just everything. As soon as it kicks off, it just makes everyone jump, and just everyone's just having fun when you see them live. And because the first time I heard them play this live properly, like an actual full band set, was at Reading Festival 2010, which is the first time I went there as well. But the first time I heard them play that song was actually earlier that year in Kingston, when they were promoting their MTV Unplugged EP, which is all acoustic. So that was also cool as well. And yeah, the song Therapy means a lot to me, because it's a song which it's really comforting, because it's one of those which really speaks to you in ways that sort of makes you not feel alone in the troubles you're going through. And particularly, like there were a couple of years back where I feel like you're just not being treated well enough by people. People don't respect you, and they purposely make you feel like trash, and this song really made me feel a bit better again. And I know it sounds really soppy and everything, but it's true. I mean, that's what music does to people, and that's what I really like about music, is that it connects people in like a personal level, and it really heals you in various ways. But yeah, enough of that, let's move on to the next one. So lastly, it's their 5th album. It's actually their deluxe version of the 5th album. It's called Don't Panic, It's Longer Now. Anyway, it's got like the kind of crazy end of the world theme, which was the whole idea behind the artwork of this 5th album. It's got UFOs trying to invade the world, got like asteroids heading for the Earth, got like zombie apocalypse going on, and like the band kind of superimposed on top of like the original artwork. And it's obviously redone and like a more realistic kind of effect to it. Back like this, these guys chilling on a couch there as the world's starting to end, as you do. And it's actually a gatefold LP or style, where it opens up like this, and it's a double LP as well, because there's I think 6 extra songs or something like that, making it a 20-song EP. Actually no, 8 I think. It's 20 songs, so the original one had 12. But anyway, however many. It's so it's got like nuclear war going on, explosions and stuff. These guys just chilling, whilst there's zombie apocalypse and everything. So everything's like this, and yeah. So this is pretty much all the artwork. Inside, obviously, there's 2 LPs. But actually, no. Before that, this one does have a lyric sheet, but it's pretty simple, it's pretty basic. I wasn't too impressed by this. It's pretty, kind of dull in a way, but oh well, it does the job. It's just lyrics, yeah, and that's all that matters. So there's obviously again 2, and they're both black. There's something not too much to say about them. They look like this, and there's another one over here, which you might as well prove to you that there's 2. And there's one. It took a while to grow on me actually, because when I first listened to it back when it was originally released, I really liked the first 5 tracks, and then the rest of them I was like, not quite into this. But then the more I listened to it, the more and more I loved it, and I started loving every other song. And then the deluxe version came out, and there was even more songs on it. And there's a song called, I think, Me Without You, I think it's called, and that's a really good one. I love that one. And I just remember because that was released during the time I was working for my year out, a couple of years ago, and yeah, it just listened to that on the way to work, and I was loving it. And there's also the song Calamity, and my favourite song off the album is called Somewhere in Neverland, because that one's basically, it's about, it's not just about Peter Pan obviously, it's got a Peter Pan theme, but it's about kind of like being young and wanting to stay young and wanting to be with your friends and wanting things to be the same, but also you kind of need to move on. And it's about that transition from education and sort of academic life to professional life, and not wanting to go into that sort of 9-to-5 routine and just wanting to have fun forever, really. I guess that's what it's about, at least that's what part of it's about anyway. There might be more to it, but oh man, that's a really fun song, really catchy song. And I remember back when it was released, or just before it got leaked or something, some arsehole leaked the song, and they just had to release it properly anyway, which is great. But yeah, I mean, the whole album itself, yeah, it's pretty fun. It's got a really cool killer opening track, The Reckless and the Brave, which had a really cool sneaky kind of campaign going on where they were releasing promotional images of the artwork for it, because they're like, oh, what's going on here? What's happening and everything? And then, oh, we've got the album, and because I think they left their major label because I don't know what happened there. They either didn't get on or whatever. I don't know the details of that, but I think it's a really wise choice to go back to Hopeless, because they're an indie record label, and they knocked it out of the park, and they got a bunch of killer songs, and they got even better with Future Hearts, and I can't wait for the next release. So yeah, that's about it today. That's all the vinyls I got from All-Time Low since last year. So yeah, it's been awesome. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if it bored you in any way. I did not mean to. I really hope I can be more exciting in these videos and fling miles about. No. Yeah. Anyway, so I hope you guys will check out the next part, which will be coming up at some point. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I've got loads. But I'll talk about something. So I'll see you guys later. See ya. How could this possibly be the way that we end now?